What's going on, ninjas? It's Sunday, and today I'm gonna go quote real quickly 3 yards, so I'm gonna bring you with me. We're also gonna talk about the thumbnail that you guys have seen by now, but before we take off and go take care of these quotes and look at them, and of course I'll show you, I want to quickly talk about stringer line, trimmer line, weed eater line, whatever you call it. Which one do you prefer the most and why? One of the things that we have realized, and I've even realized some of this last year, is that they're not all the same, of course, and one is better than the other for certain things. So for example, like I don't have any of the yellow ugly line that we used to use because we ran out and I didn't buy anymore, nor I don't think I plan to anymore. But the Echo, by the way, what do you use? Do you use a 0.095? That's all I use. Or do you use the 105 or thicker? So here's the thing. The Black Diamond by Echo, okay, it does okay on your regular weekly maintained yards. It doesn't require a lot of weed eating, you know what I mean? It's just maintained yards. So if you're just doing a bunch of maintained yards, ninjas, I would recommend this because it did okay. But if you're fighting with overgrown grass, if you're fighting with, you know, brush, things of that nature, that's like, let's say you're doing a bunch of clearing, you know, a clear out, then this is not the thing for you, at least from the experiences that we have encountered. As you can see real closely, it twists, but if it's real heavy usage, it actually goes bald. And once it goes bald, it's useless. So we're almost done. You know, we don't really use it on a regular daily because we got a lot of the Orange Echo line. And like I said, I'm not planning on buying the ugly line anymore. So we'll put it like that. I have another one on the trailer, but this is the new one that I picked up at Lowe's the other day. And we have come to find out that this one works the best for us, okay? And I enjoy it too, and I know Sassy does, and so does Red. But this is something that this one doesn't do as bad as what the ugly line did, is it does not twist and curl up as much on the edges when you're done. I apologize, guys. I'm still kind of trying to get over this little cold, I guess you could say. But so we actually prefer this, okay? This is the one I would prefer over the Black Diamond or the ugly line, because this works on your regular maintained yards, and also if you have some overgrown or any kind of clearing you do. It's just a different type of material. You can see it's just, I don't know, it seems better. This is the new one by Green Touch. A lot of you might have already seen it. Whoops. And they just sent this to me, okay, just like towards the end of this last week, and haven't even opened it yet, as you can see. So I don't know. Stay tuned for sure. I will tell you how this is. We're gonna definitely try it out and see how it lasts, how long it lasts, and if it's really, you know, very similar to this or the ugly line. Does it curl up? Is it really good just for maintained yards, or does it work also for any kind of overgrowth or any kind of cleanup that you might do? Let me know. What do you use? What number? Okay. And what brand? And I'm sure there's many more brands down there. Like I said, I only other one I had, but we ran out, is the ugly line. But there's other ones that people probably will recommend. And if you do, if you think that there's another one that you would want me to try out, let me know. And I will be happy to go pick one up and do a comparison and a review. So anyway, I wanted to get this out of the way because like I said, this just came in. We haven't even opened this one, and we have a little bit more left of this one. So hey guys, let's go quote these 3 yards, and let's do a little chit-chatting while I'm driving and show you, of course, the quotes. And that's going to pretty much sum it up for our Sunday vlog. Well, I usually don't even do Sunday vlogs anymore. I just kind of, but you know what? The heck with it. I'm going to go do some quotes. I'm bringing you ninjas with me. Let's go. She's like, well, I have another guy that gave me a quote, but if you can beat his price, you can have it. And she's like, just because I've heard great things from you or about you from the realtor, so just goes to show, again, a quick reminder, really how important it is to do a good job. And you know, word of mouth is the best thing, man. So here, for example, this lady, whether I get this account or not, it doesn't really matter, but this lady, you know, got a quote, and she even told me the price of the other gentleman that quoted her, and she said, if you can match it or beat it, you got it. And I told her, okay, well, I'll look at it. But one of the other things that she wants besides just mowing, let me back up just a little, is you see all these trees, ninjas? Not this big one here, but the little ones on the side here. Well, they're not really that little. She wants all those removed. And they're going into her gutter on her roof. She wants them all removed. So I asked her, I said, do you want just a, you know, chop them up with a chainsaw, drag them out by the road, whatever, or do you want the roots actually removed? And she said, give me price of both. I probably want the roots gone completely as well, so that way I can plant something down the road. And I told her I'll be happy to, but I can break it up into 2 parts. If it's too much for her, I can go ahead and like quote her right now, just chopping it up with a chainsaw, and then like maybe this fall or winter, you know, we can actually come out here and pull those roots. So not a big deal. She also wants to definitely remove a lot of these overgrown weeds and some of the shrubs, and I guess she's just trying to really open the house, which I could totally understand. It's kind of taking over. The yard is overgrown. I mean, it is considered overgrown, but it's not like massively overgrown. This is a dead end right here. So I did tell her I'd be stopping by, so she's aware. I don't think she's home, but I did say, you know, sometime this weekend, and she was totally cool with that. So I'm gonna park right here, ninjas. I'm gonna bring you with me, and let's just peek over that fence, and just to see what that backyard looks like real quick. So the first thing I see that's a concern is the gate. So I'm hoping there's a bigger gate, or maybe on the other side, because this gate is maybe a 36-inch would fit. And it's a pretty good backyard. It's actually on a slope. Okay, I've seen enough, but let me just go on the other side and see if there's a bigger gate, because that's going to be a big factor. She wants all this removed. It's definitely a lot of work. Yeah, I can see these trees. She wants them gone. Chainsaw, no problem, and then I can pull those roots out by the truck or with the truck. Oh yes, big gate, big gate. I'm guessing this is her property line as well here. Yes, 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 yes. I love it when I see big gates like this. Awesome. Okay, well, this yard definitely turned into a super easy yard, ninjas. All right, ninjas, so real quick, I'm gonna go ahead and start taking on a couple of more yards here or there, just because now that I know, with having Red and Sassy and how we work together, it gives me a better idea of how much we can get done, and how fast we are and things like that. Of course, you know, unless the weather interferes, but it really gives me a better idea. And like, for example, I don't mind having a 3-day weekend. GPS, I don't mind having a 3-day weekend every once in a while, but I don't know, you know, about a 3-day weekend every week, especially while we're still under, you know, in season, you know, 1st of September. So, you know, it's understandable when you get into that November, December, January, February to have some weekends off. But yeah, so I'm gonna be tackling on some more jobs. This is something that I'm excited for and looking forward to, just because I was turning, and I have been turning down a lot of work majority of this season, because help, you know, you got to understand, you guys have seen the ones who've been with me, the loyal ninjas who've been with me. I gotta turn this down, I can't It's talking over me. You guys have seen, you know, people come, people go. And one of the things as a business owner is one of the biggest fears is to take on a lot of work and then you can't take care of the work, right? I mean, that's always been one of my biggest fears, and I think it's a lot of owners. I mean, you don't want to take on a lot of yards, whether it be mowing, whether it be aerating, whether it be fall cleanups, whatever, and then, you know, you don't have the help, and then you have to call these customers, and at least I would call them and just have to apologize and tell them I can't help them. Some people wouldn't even do that. Some people would just not show up and let them go. But anyway, but yeah, now that I'm knowing how well we work and everything, I am gonna start picking up some more yards. I have no problem picking up yards. I have more work than I can handle, or that, you know, than I know what to do with. I've got work on pending, that's just pending. I've got work that I've passed up, especially during that time, Ninjas, when it was just me and Sassy. It was just two of us, and we were just, we've kind of had a system figured out, and we got a momentum going. We were able to keep our head above the water and keep all the, you know, yards done and keep the schedule going. But there was no way I was going to be able to pick up a single yard, not another brand new yard. So starting tomorrow, Monday, I've already got 2-3 brand new yards scheduled. You know, some will be tomorrow and some will be later in the week, and I'm looking to pick up a couple more. Is like, okay, I could technically pull in there not to block the road, but what happens when I get here on a day and there's cars here parked? Where do I go? I can't just stop here in the middle of the road and block these people, you know, getting to their homes. But this is the yard. Doesn't really seem like much, to be honest. So this is actually pretty gravy. Wow, I don't know, yeah, I'm sure that stuff up against the fence is not theirs because it's on this side of the property, but wow. Okay, well, that's pretty simple. What do you charge? How would you go about that? Well, I know one way that you can't go about, and that's, you can't go based on just, oh, that's just a small yard, it'll take me 5-10 minutes, I can knock that out in 5 minutes. Oh, you know, that's just a $10 yard, $20 yard, $25. You can't do that, Ninjas. You got to have your minimum. So your minimum reflects on a, you know, up to a certain size of the yard. So if the yard is a 30-minute yard, then that's your minimum for 30 minutes, right? Or an hour. Or the yard is 5 minutes, it doesn't matter. You still have to charge your minimum. Because you have to keep in mind, Ninjas, if you are an employer, you already probably know this, but then you got employees, you got Ninjas, right? You got to pay them. What about the fuel for the truck to get there? What about, you know, the fuel for the weed eaters and the mowers? Again, just, you got to add all that, you know, into consideration. So got to have a minimum. And what is your minimum? Now you're probably wondering, well, what's your minimum? It doesn't really matter what my minimum is, because it wouldn't help you, because everybody's minimum is different. It just depends where you are, what part of the country. You know, some minimums in certain places are higher and others are going to be more. So it just, you got to figure that out, Ninjas, depending on your area. Let's go check out the next one. Not too bad. Front yard, it's been let go a little bit. Hasn't really been touched on the edging. It's mostly just weeds. It's not even, there's not much here. But I do have to go to the other street to check out the backyard. So let's go do that. There's a little section inside this fenced in area over there where the bikes are, right there. And I'm guessing this belongs to them out here outside. There's a little section right here on the side, and all this crap that's growing on the fence. I could totally see this yard being a super challenging leaf cleanup yard as fall is near. What's crazy, I just realized I'm in this area. I used to mow this yard right here. Look at that, it's so overgrown and let go. I don't know who does it now. Look at the front weeds right there. I don't know who does it now or what, but man, I mowed this yard before I started YouTube, about 3-4 years ago. Doesn't look like anybody's taking care of it anymore. How interesting is that? So real quickly, if you made it this far into the video, I appreciate you watching and spending the time with me to go check out a couple of those yards. But you're probably at this point wondering, just like I am, what the heck is that? The thumbnail itself and the picture you just saw. Exmark is coming out with a brand new Vantage 2, I believe. It's a supposedly a updated stand-on mower. And as you guys seen by that picture, I don't know, it looks like a freaking mess. Now, if you want to go to Saving Green Lawn Care on Instagram, there's more pictures on there, okay? Because I did post that up last night, and I stumbled upon it. I shared it, and I've been talking to a lot of ninjas over there. So if you want to go check it out and get some more pictures, Saving Green Lawn Care on Instagram, go check it out where you get all your sneak peeks. So, but seriously, what the heck is that? And that looks really bizarre. Now, I don't know. I'm hoping that that's a prototype, ninjas. I really do. I really hope that's a prototype and they're just kind of trying things out and until they really figure out the one that they're going to release. I'm sure it's going to be at the new, at the GIE, where they're going to show it and maybe we can get to demo it and try it. But as of right now, not knowing if that's a prototype or not, I'm going to base it off of the pictures, right, and what it looks like. It looks rinky-dinky. It looks really wide, which that tells me it's going to probably handle hills really well. But at the same time, it looks really short, ninjas. It looks like it wasn't made for us tall guys. It looks like it was made for short people. I don't know. It just looks so rinky-dinky. I don't know what else to explain it and how else to say it. Again, I'm basing this off of the picture. Of course, I'm excited as you are to check it out at the, hopefully they'll have it at the GIE and test drive it and get some more information on it. And maybe that's not even going to be it. Maybe that's just a prototype. So, but if that is it, man, just from the looks, based on the looks, it could be a great machine, right? But just from the looks, I don't know what the heck they were thinking. So real quick story, ninjas. A lot of these companies are just now coming out with stand-on mowers that you stand between the wheels. As you've seen, Scab V-Ride 2, right? They finally came out with where you can stand between the wheels. Ferris just started making stand-on mowers about 1 or 2 years ago, give or take, so they're fairly new in the market of that. And now Exmark is doing that. You already know Husqvarna's come out with a brand new stand-on mower that you stand behind the wheel. Do you know why that is, ninjas? Have you ever questioned why? Maybe a lot of you may already know this, but some of you who may not, have you ever questioned why all of a sudden all these brands and all these companies are making mowers that you stand between the wheels? And all up until now, they made mowers where you have to fold down a flap or something where you stand behind the mower. That's because Wright had a patenting for like 17-something years that nobody else could copy. And this is obviously coming from Ed Wright himself when he visited the ninjas. I remember him talking about this. His patenting was like for 17, 18 years, something like that, and finally just expired about I want to say maybe a year or two ago, something like that, right around when Ferris started making their stand-on mowers. So it's just, now that the patent is running out, everybody's like developing these new stand-on mowers between the wheels, and that's great. That's awesome. Ferris Z2, I've already tried those out. I have not had a chance to check out the Z3X, I believe, the new one, the big one. So that's something to look forward to for sure, that I want to try out and maybe compare it with the ZK. And Toro, I don't know if they're coming out with Exmark, same thing. I'm not sure if the Toro itself is going to come out with a brand new stand-on between the wheels, but obviously Exmark is. So yeah, guys, that's why a lot of these companies are doing this. Ed, the Wright company, Ed Wright was telling me that his patenting their patenting finally expired, and which is part of business. And if patenings do expire, ninjas, after so many years, because if they don't, then it would become a monopoly. Think about it. I mean, you develop a design and then you keep it forever. And what if your design is one of the best designs ever and nobody else can ever match it? even close. So what do? You want to keep it forever? I mean, that's definitely where the monopoly kicks in. So yeah, patents are designed to expire, and once they do, other companies will try to copy. That's another thing that when I was researching buying new mowers, when I was getting ready to part ways with Scab, I had options, Ninjas. I was thinking about going back to the Hustlers. I was thinking about, trying out Exmarks and Toros and all, but I did my research and I really looked into the right mowers, and the fact that they are one of the first, if not the first, to develop the stand-ons and the way they did. And it just goes to show who's in lead. Think about it. Who is in lead? And now who's copying? And finally, now they're able to, that the patenting is expired. Now they're all trying to develop a similar product. So that tells you who's in lead and who's following. So anyway, guys, that's all I got on that. I hope you guys enjoyed the picture, and check out some more pictures on Instagram. It's Saving Green Lawn Care. It's a rinky-dinky, funky-looking mower. That's all I got to say. But again, I hope it's a prototype, because if it's not, we'll see you tomorrow. Peace.